Hi and welcome to cheekyricho Cooking's apricot chicken cooked in the Dreampot. Now this is a thermal cooker. I've showed you this in a couple of other different recipes. It's really easy to do and it's great for camping. It has two inner pots, a small one with a stainless lid, that's what we're going to be cooking our rice in, and the other one is a bit deeper and that's what we're going to be cooking our chicken in. Got a stainless steel bottom. We're putting it on the induction hot plate because it's a lot easier to manage with our video. So we want to just brown our chicken to start with, and we're not using French onion soup, which is pretty traditional with this. We're actually using onions that have been sweated down and made all sticky and messy with some veggie salt and some pepper and some garlic and some ginger, and that's going to give it a nice sweet delicious more of a homemade flavor. Okay, to get started we're just going to turn it on, turn it up, pour in our rice, pour in our, this is just tap hot water. Give it a stir, and we want to bring this to the boil. Once it comes to the boil, we're going to pop the lid on it, and that's going to continue cooking once we pop it on top of our larger lid. So just get that up to the boil and see how quick that is. It's already starting to bubble. Now just while it's happening, we're just going to slice our onions here. Okay, we're at a rolling boil now. We're just going to put the lid on this and put it to one side and turn it off. Now our big pot goes on now and we turn it on, and we're going about 650 watt. Do it nice and slow. So we're going to add our oil in with our onions, and we don't want to brown those, we just want to sweat them off. So you can take it down a little bit lower than that actually. A little bit of pepper goes in there, a little bit of veggie salt, about a teaspoon. We're just sweating that off. We're going to add our garlic and our ginger to that too, and that'll be nice and sticky. Just slice our garlic, just slice it, doesn't have to be too crazy, and that goes. While that's happening, we're just going to slice our apricots in half. I'm not using tinned apricots, I'm using dried apricots because they've got a tart, sweet flavour. Gives it a lot of lovely texture and it just tastes delicious. So cut those in half. You can leave them whole if you like, or you can even make them smaller if you prefer. But I think half, once they're all fattened up and all juicy with the nectar, is going to be absolutely delicious. There's something magical about the smell of sweated onions, don't you think? We've got some frozen ginger. I'll show you how to do that in a different video, and that way you've always got, well, frozen but pretty well fresh on hand. We're just going to grate that in there with a microplane. Big microplane, we want to have some bigger pieces in there. See, it grates really easily and breaks up all those fibres. There we go. Probably about a ½ inch piece in there, about half as big as the ball of your thumb. Now we're just using a Tetra Pak or a UHT container of apricot nectar. We're only going to use half of this, so that's 500 grams, 500 mils. These are perfect if you go camping. You just freeze them solid and they act as ice bricks, and when you get to where you're going you can then drink the contents, so you're not carrying useless ice bricks that have no further use once they've thawed. They're perfect for that. Only do it once though, because once you've thawed them once they go all sort of mushy and they can't be refrozen. Give it a good shake, and we're going to pour half of that in when we're ready to add our chicken. Now we're nice and sort of soppy and delicious. It's smelling pretty fine. We're going to now add our chicken, which are just chunks, boneless, skinless breast chunks. Probably my preference would be for thigh chunks, but these were on special and I just grabbed them because I thought they'd be great for apricot chicken, and they're a much lower fat version. So I'm going to turn that up a bit now. This is my new hot plate. You can throw your apricots in there as well, and just continue stirring that until you've got a little bit of colour on all of the chicken. It will start to lose some of its juice as well, and that will help cook the onion even further. Okay, that's got a little bit of colour on it now. We're just going to send in half of our container of apricot nectar. You can see how lovely and thick that is. And we're going to continue to cook it. It's about half. Continue to cook it until it comes to the boil for about another 5 minutes or so. Mix that all through. The nectar is going to plump up those apricots and really intensify the apricot flavour there. Okay, this has been cooking for about 10 minutes at 800 watts or about medium power. You can see the steam coming out from all around, and we're just going to turn the machine off now and pop the whole thing into our Dreampot. Just move our induction hot plate away. Pop that into our Dreampot. Close the lid. This will keep for up to 8 hours. We're only going to be letting it sit for 6, and then we'll be ready to eat our dinner. Okay, 6 hours later, and this is what you should have. Oh, it's very hot. We're just going to take the lid off that. You can see how rice is lovely and soft, beautifully cooked. We're just going to fluff that with a fork, and look at that. Divine. Take that out, and underneath we've got our gorgeous apricot chicken. Oh, this is smelling pretty special. Now you can thicken this if you like, but I don't think it really needs it. The rice is going to sop up all those gorgeous juices, and we're just going to sprinkle it with a little of our spring onions for a bit of freshness. So in with our lovely soft fluffy rice. You wouldn't get that better in a rice cooker. There's oodles there for between 2 and 4 people. Now we just make sure we've got lots of our lovely chicken, chunks of apricots, onions, and lots of our juice. Chicken's moist and tender, it's fairly low fat, and there you have it. Hearty, healthy, delicious Cheeky Richo cooking apricot chicken in the Dreampot. Using the dried apricots, you've got a really delicious tart sweet flavour. I just sprinkle that with a couple of our spring onions for added freshness and colour. Who said camp cooking had to be boring? Okay, have a little taste, shall we? Got some of our apricots, some of our chicken, oh, yummy sweet onions, and our perfectly cooked rice. That's a big mouthful. Slow cooked meal without a slow cooker. Can't do any better than that. Thanks for watching.